Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Portsmouth Coffee Talks morning show. My name is James Slim Overton, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Leah Drake Stitt and Thomas the Colonel Chapman, and we're waiting on guest hosts from Texas, John Gans. And we have a special guest with us this morning, Roy Corby. He's the general manager of Portsmouth Rivers Casino. And Leah is going to lead us off in discussion this
Yes,
morning. And before
indeed.
before you do that, Leah, Colonel, did you well, I don't know if we haven't done this since we not on the radio yet, but we still need to do our disclaimer, I guess, for Facebook purposes?
Okay, might as well. For the viewers out there in the electron lands, the views stated on this program are the host and the guests, and nobody else, no third party thing. So we hope to stay out of Facebook jail. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Leah.
Good morning, Roy.
Good morning.
It is such a blessing to see you this early in the morning, and you're agreeing to come on to Portsmouth Coffee Talk. I've got a lot to discuss with you because there are a lot of questions out there about Rivers Casino. I know when I ride by, I'm still seeing mounds and mounds of cars surrounding that casino, but there's some questions that those in the community have. And of course, when I mentioned that you were coming on, the first thing that everyone hit me with was, when is the hotel coming up?
Yeah, the hotel's the popular question. It's even a popular question among my team. We're in the real early stages of designing the hotel. We've always known exactly where it was going to go on the property. This property was master planned, so that we know exactly where it was, and for ease of utilities. But as far as an opening date, we're not quite there yet. We're not quite ready to announce, but I can assure you that we're deep in the design stage, and I'm really happy with the progress we're making on that. I think it's going to be a perfect complement for the property, and I think it'll make Portsmouth proud.
That is wonderful. And let's get some of this negative stuff out of the way. When you go to review Rivers Casino, of course they have the negative comments from when you first opened, when you were getting rid of all the bugs that were there in the casino at that time. As far as the smoke, people are still asking about the smoke in the casino.
Yeah, as always, we're always going to follow Virginia law. And Virginia law allows the smoking in the casinos. Um, we take the comments and the concerns of all our guests and all our teammates extremely seriously, and we're constantly monitoring them. We're constantly making uh, tweaks to the ventilation system to try to make sure that we're maximizing the amount of air that's coming in at any given moment and exhausting um, whatever is still in the building. So yeah, I feel like we've come an awful long way on that. I read every review that comes through, every single one of them. And you're right, the first several months were pretty harsh, but I think over the past 2 months um, have been extremely positive on all the changes that we've made in that area.
That is wonderful. And one more question, guys, before you all get started. Event space. There are a lot of questions out there about how to acquire the event space, what event space you have within the casino. We need some competition here in Portsmouth, so we need you desperately. Believe me.
So yeah, we've got the main ballroom, which is 13,000 square feet, but all told, we have over 20,000 square feet of meeting and convention space. So we have two boardrooms that can be combined into one. We've got the awesome patio space, which sits right outside of Admiral's Steak and Seafood House, which has been utilized um, quite a bit for private functions. We've hosted several birthday parties out there where they've taken the whole space, as well as a cigar and bourbon tastings. So event space is plentiful here, and they can book that by calling directly 757-840-2030, and that'll take them to the sales team, and we can book that for anybody. But we can host uh, any size event that anyone in the city wants to hold.
And what is the maximum capacity?
Depends on how you want to seat it. If you wanted to set it up in theater styles, as you know, we had Teresa Caputo here recently for 2 sold out shows. We could set that up for over 1,500 in theater style. Or if you wanted to do it in seated rounds for like a dinner, when we hosted the Portsmouth State of the City, we hosted 608 at that event. So it really depends on how you want to set up the room.
And just for a little levity here, I have to share a little story with you. The state of the city, of course, was fabulous. It was absolutely wonderful. The screens and all of your digital stuff there is just so amazing. Uh, James Overton left a mark at your casino. When we were going out to the patio, the doors were so clean. James walked into the door, so his handprint is in your door.
Yeah, I left my handprint there. And I told the maintenance not to wash that part of the door. Just leave that there.
He,
As,
he left his mark there. But Roy, I can truly say I was there for the state of the city. I've been there in the river, in the steakhouse for birthday parties. And every time I have gone, I've had an amazing experience. And I really want to thank you for that. I did miss the comedy. And a lot of people are telling me about when Mike Epps was there. And so he made some little crazy comments, but he said he's willing to come back. And with him saying that he's willing to come back, I'm sure that's going to expand the number of comedians who are willing to come and do shows at the Rivers Casino. So that's my little opening for you all. And if you guys want to jump in, because I do have a lot more questions to ask.
Indeed, before you other guys jump in, I'd just like to introduce John Gans. Just came into the picture. Is one of our guest hosts, and he lives in Texas. And I guess later on we'll talk about some of the casinos in Texas. Roy let us know earlier that there are 2 there. So we can talk about that and your experience. I'm sure you've been there.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Sorry about
guys.
those technical difficulties, but I'm having trouble down here in Texas trying to keep the power on because the governor.
I wonder why.
That's a whole show by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to
But
follow
Roy,
up on one of Leah's questions.
what was that?
You have something to say, Leah?
Wait, Colonel.
Okay. Roy, you mentioned the hotel that you're in the process of developing and implementing, and then you'll execute the building of this new hotel. So, can you give us a snapshot? Is this going to be on one of the national brands, or going to be a brand that you're going to build and go? Is it? And theoretically, and how many beds?
It's a brand that we're going to build. So it's called the Landing Hotel. And if you go to Rivers Schenectady, New York, or Rivers Pittsburgh, we already have Landing hotels in operation there. As a matter of fact, the Landing Hotel in Pittsburgh opened not long after we opened our doors up here. So we're really proud of the offerings we have at each one of our properties. Philadelphia is bringing a hotel online pretty soon as well. So the number of rooms is fluctuating as we speak, because what changes in that is how many suites we have. Because they obviously take up a bigger footprint inside the hotel. So I think when you see the amenities, you'll be really proud. There'll be we're certainly looking at some with some balconies or terrace suites, things like that, and that changes the overall number of rooms. So as the architect works through those drawings, we'll have a better number soon.
Oh, good. Excellent. Look forward to seeing what that's going to look like. And so the next question I have is, not to say this is a got you question, because I think we talked about this or at least I brought it up last time, is that how are the taxes, the projected taxes when you were thinking about building the hotel versus now that we've gone into a reality state matched up?
Yeah, we've exceeded all our projections to date. We're very proud of the support we've received from inside the community and really the entire state. So our tax revenue paid to the state and to the city has outpaced what our projections were. And that doesn't even include the admittance taxes, the taxes. When we used to talk about the amount of tax we expected to pay to the city, we never really included the restaurant taxes or any of that. I mean, so our contribution back to the city has been significantly higher than anticipated.
That being about how many?
I think we're probably averaging, let's see, so far we've been averaging 1.4 million a month.
So that's a good follow-up for to ask what the city's doing with it. That's another question.
That belongs to the city.
Yes.
We need to get them on to talk about that, Colonel.
So that's why I thought that's a good follow-up question for them. So the second one is, I look at, and I know we talked about the percentages of minorities employed in your the goals that you had in the beginning, theoretically goals. In reality, now they're about, because I know you probably don't have these in front of you. What do you have now for minorities? That.
You know, what's funny is this is something that drives my wife crazy. Is I usually don't forget a thing, and it's a curse and a blessing at the same time. So I had to prepare a report for the state of Virginia not about 2 months ago. So what I could tell you is a full we're right around 1,100 employees at the moment, and a full 35% are coming from inside of Portsmouth itself. Now, over 50% of our job offers have gone to Portsmouth residents, and then the reason it's 35% that are actually here for a variety of reasons. Some have dropped out, couldn't get licensed, any number of reasons. But 35% from inside of Portsmouth itself, with 50% of job offers going to Portsmouth. A full 65% of our employees are from Portsmouth, Chesapeake, Norfolk. And then it expands beyond that to Virginia Beach and Suffolk. Now, minorities, we are 58% minority. We are 51% women. We are close to 50% in women in management. A full 40% of our promotions since opening are from people that have started and were trained here. So we're extremely proud of how of our record in this area. This is really important to us. This was your question the first time I was on almost a year ago, and we're really proud of that.
You know what? And you answered all that question within detail and good. And I think you're beating some of the projections that I think we talked about last time. And the other one to follow on with that, of those of all of the 1,100 people that have been hired or on the payroll, what is the percentage of part-time versus full-time, and also the percentage of folks, of minorities in leadership?
Sure. We are overwhelmingly full-time employee. It's interesting because when I was first on, I thought we would have I thought we were going to come in somewhere around 70% full-time to part-time, I think is what I told you last year. Just because some of the shipyard workers, some of the military, I thought there was going to be a good population of people who were just looking for part-time work to supplement. But we're finding ourselves being over 85% full-time, closer to 88% full-time employees, which is great. You know, we have a great wage program, benefit programs, fantastic. Now, as far as minorities in management, currently 48%, 49%, just under 50.
Excellent. And I'll also piggyback on the thing that you talked about, the benefits. So are the part-time employees eligible for, and I know the full-time employees are, but are they eligible for your healthcare, dental care, and 401k plans? And with 401k plans for full employee, do you have any match with them?
We do have a match for full-time employees. We match 4% of their salary. for the full time. No benefits. The benefits programs are all hour based. So if an employee is averaging over 30 hours,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me, they would qualify for all our benefit programs.
Mm-hmm. 4% is a good match. And is that 401k plan within? Is it like based with one of the mutual funds families, or how's
It
that?
is. It is. It's with Fidelity.
Fidelity. Good. Excellent. So I don't want to take everybody's time. Anybody else, or do I want to keep on
And
going?
Roy, while he's on the employment, there are a number of questions that individuals asked also about employment at the casino. What jobs are available, as well as how do they go about applying for the jobs?
Sure. No, thank you for that. Yeah. Like I said, we're at least 200. We're looking for at least 200 more team members right now, and a majority of those, we're looking for dealers always, right? We're always looking for table games dealers. One of the comments you see often on the Google or Yelp is that, hey, I went in and couldn't get on the table. It was so busy, right? And which is a great business, a great problem to have as a business, right? We're that busy. So we want to put more tables on the floor. We want to open more tables. So I need more dealers. So we're always looking for more dealers. Food and beverage is constantly hiring. We're constantly looking for more chefs, more line cooks. Security is currently hiring. So I'm currently hiring across the board in almost every position on this site. We talked about the patio at Admirals. I'd love to have that open more often during the week. We're going to be we're going to be rolling out a sushi menu before the end of the month at Admirals, which is just spectacular. We just did our tasting. We think that would do great out on the patio. I need more team members to help open that patio. So they can go to riverscasino.com and then follow the link and apply for a job. But we're constantly having job fairs. They can walk right into the casino through the employee entrance. There's the HR entrance, and file an application right here.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Look, I'm sure Johnny has a question, but real quick, Roy, when you mentioned about some of the people have dropped off because of couldn't get licensed, what jobs there? I think I know that require license. There's probably the dealers but any other jobs in there, so people will know before they go for employment. That
Sure.
certain jobs going to require a license that you have to be approved.
Currently, the state of Virginia requires every employee, regardless of position, who works inside the casino to be licensed.
Oh, wow.
They require the vendors we do business with to be licensed. So it's the only real automatic disqualifier is a felony. If you have a felony, unfortunately, the state of Virginia
That's everywhere.
will not issue a license. But that's really the only automatic disqualifier. So minor arrest records, certainly things like that, traffic violations, none of that stops you from getting a license in the state.
Okay, Johnny, get in there.
So everyone has to be licensed.
Yes, Lee. Everybody.
Now, comrade, as far as your gaming tables and those individuals working the tables, are they still doing training for those individuals, and where can individuals receive training in order to work the tables?
Yeah, we currently have a class that started in July. We still do the training over at TCC, over at the Tidewater campus. Right next door are great neighbors, Dr. Constant and her team. We're lucky to have them as a partner, but we still do our training there. And it runs 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Our July class will be wrapping up at the end of this month. We have an August class that'll start next week. And we expect we'll start one in September also. So we're running dealer training constantly. We're constantly trying to get more dealers in here.
Well, that is great. And of course, people want to know about pay. Are we at this the right amount for coming in to work there?
That's a great question. I appreciate that because Rivers Rush Street was one of the pioneers in the casino industry in getting to $15 an hour across the board. And currently, we don't have any non-tip position actually at $15 an hour. Where all our non-tip positions are starting much higher than that. $17.50 is our base pay in most cases. Security entrance officers $19 an hour. Starbucks $19. Dealers are averaging over $29 an hour. Slot attendants, same thing, averaging about $30 an hour. So, yeah, we're really proud of how we've treated our employees. When we opened up on January 23rd, in February, we gave every team member a bonus. 100% of our team received a bonus for getting us through the opening. And we followed that up in March by giving over 75% of the frontline team members a raise to their salaries. So the team members that are coming on board now are feeling the benefits of that. And I can't thank the ownership and corporate leadership enough for allowing us to do that.
And Roy, in the slot attendants, the training for the slot attenders, is that taking place as well?
It is. We do that right here on property. So, really slot attendants, we're looking for people who, have a great personality, want to deal with the public. They're pretty active out on the floor, but reading our guests is certainly the most important thing they do. Paying off the jackpots, helping with minor machine issues if it runs out of paper or if the ticket jams, things like that, is primarily their responsibility.
I have a question, Mr. Corby, and I don't want this to be a sneak up on your question, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. When I came out the military, I got a job as a federal investigator for the Department of Labor, working white-collar crime with health and pensions. And I'm telling you that because we have a lot of casinos up here, and they're owned by a lot of Indian, Native American tribes. And I saw that your casino's got the majority owner is Churchill, and Rush Street is a minority owner. Is that still true?
That's not true.
Okay.
Well, that's only the Des Plaines Rivers Casino. All the other Rivers casinos are primarily Rush Street owned.
Rush Street.
So here it's 95% owned by Rush Street.
And is that connected with any type of Native American tribe?
No, sir.
Okay. And the reason I asked that because when we used to investigate them, of course, they have their own bylaws. They have their own laws, and they're exempt to a lot of federal regulations. So when Thomas was asking about the 401k and the health care, if they were, we found a lot of them. We found a number of them having some issues, let's say, with the 401k and taking participants' monies and not putting it in the plan, or not giving out the health care, and then trying to go in and try to settle that out for the employees and fix it for the employees, the betterment of the participants. It became a little challenging. So I just wanted to know, were you first under that banner, and if indeed, have you ever seen that problem?
No, I have no concerns here with that, and quite honestly, no, I've never even seen it. I've worked for a number of Native American tribes, including in Oklahoma, and haven't come across that.
That's a good question. Can I follow up on a question, because we're on the benefit program part, and then do you have or offering or plan to offer money for higher education? Especially for people who want to keep on going. And is loan repayment for students included in that cost or benefit?
We do offer tuition reimbursement for team members. We do. We feel that continuing someone's education is extremely important. It gives them a lot more opportunities in life around the company, whatever they choose to do. I think as a society, we're all better off the more educated everybody could be. So yes, we do offer tuition reimbursement. Do not offer loaner payments in school.
Mm-hmm. So with that loan repayment, tuition for tuition. So what is the percentage of degreed folks that you have of that 1,100 employees?
I don't know. I've never. That's a piece of data I've never asked HR to record. So I don't think anyone in here would have an idea. I don't. Somebody listed on their application. I'm sure we ask, but I don't think we've ever actually recorded it anywhere. I don't know.
That'd be a nice data point, especially when you come up for, you give them briefings. Is that I got so many, and the also additional that I have this many people or percentage working for a degree or a higher degree, especially for your part-time folks that are coming out to supplement so they can get those degrees that they're looking for. But I will circle back on. I had a question on your licensure. So if somebody comes to work for you or tries to come to work for you, who's responsible for the licensure, and what is that licensure?
So the process. So when we make an offer, so you come in today to HR and you apply for a job as a line cook. You go through the interview. We make you a job offer. So you'll fill out the application, just the casino application first, and the consent for a background check. We will do as part of our due diligence to the Commonwealth of Virginia. We're required to do a background check on every individual. We run a background check through a third party company. That comes back as expected. Now we submit you to the state of Virginia, and we're required to upload X number of documents, and it depends on the job you're applying for. So if let's use my job, for example. So for me, they require 5 years of tax returns. They require my high school transcripts. If I have a college degree, they require the college transcripts. If I've been in any litigation, they require copies of that. They require 10-year address history and same amount of time in address history. Employment history. If I've had any other licenses elsewhere, they require those so that they can research those, and they require a certified copy of my driving records. So now, a majority of the team does not have to submit all that.
Right. That certification program or what you had to go through sort of similar to a security clearance in the military. Am I right, Johnny?
It sounds like.
Yes. So of that, and with folks with bad credit, is that they can have a nice employment record, but somehow they had student loans that they defaulted on or whatever, and they got the 500 credit, 500 or 600 credit rating. Is that going to be a negative piece for them to be hired?
Not on our side. Not on our side at all. Right. We understand that life happens. There are circumstances beyond all of our controls, especially in the time we're living in now with COVID and the amount of shutdowns and medical debt. So no, certainly not on our side.
Good. So I had a question was passed to me just a minute ago from my boss. She wanted to know the costs and the types of stuff that you're serving in your restaurant. And also, she watches the commercials out there. It's talking about the free money. If you come in, sign up, you get so much, free play or whatever.
Yeah.
And so you can answer that for her, get that off, so I can be a hero today.
Yeah. So she's talking about Rush Rewards, right? Signing up for our Players Card program, where her play will earn her points that she can redeem for free play. She gets in our direct mail program where monthly we will mail her anywhere between 4 and 8 offers a month for when she comes back in. Really, it's just hey, you're coming in. Let us start your gaming session off on us. Here's anywhere from $10 to $250, and that's on us. Start your session off with that. As for the restaurants, So we have a wide variety, as you know. We have Slice Pizzeria, where just as its name says, you can come in and get a slice for a cheese slice for $5, pepperoni slice for $5.50, or a chicken Florentine. I think it's $7, as well as salads and Italian hoagies there. Mian, our Asian restaurant, we're in the process of rolling out a whole new menu, which will take place first week of September is what we're targeting. But you'll be able to get a combo plate for $17. So you think a chicken fried rice, an orange chicken, an egg roll for $17. Or if you want to do an individual item, you want to just do fried rice, you're earning somewhere around $7.50, $8. Crossings Cafe runs the gamut. You can go in there on Friday and Saturday nights for the prime rib special, which is a generous cut of prime rib, mashed potatoes and gravy, a vegetable roll for $28, including a drink, a soft drink. Or you can go in there for lunch and do a burger for $13. So we run the whole gamut. The steakhouse now, we're really proud of the steakhouse. The steakhouse is probably the premier dining destination in the area, and I truly believe that that chef and his team have done an amazing job in there. A choice of 6 different steaks, lamb chops, all the way up to a tomahawk steak, which is 38 ounces, I want to say. Crab cakes, a fresh seafood option every day, oysters. 10-ounce fillet is gonna be market price of around $53, somewhere in there. But the best Wagyu burger you'll get in this area. I can go in the steakhouse, sit at the bar, and have a Wagyu burger, which is just absolutely amazing. So we've got a price point for everyone.
Yes, good.
Let me get in there, Colonel. My stomach is growling now because you mentioned all that food. But anyway, great questions, co-host, and great answers, Roy. Creating stimulating conversation, which is our goal here. But I wanted to ask you, Roy. One of the things the casinos or what any casinos depend on is out of town visitors. Is there any way that you all keep a track of? Because I know I talk to a lot of people that from other cities that come here, but any way that you keep a track of, where people are coming from that visit you? I know probably get a lot of people from North Carolina and maybe the Eastern Shore, where I guess a lot of those people go to Delaware. But anyway, y'all keep track of that and get an idea of where the people are coming from, or sometimes I've seen bus loads come in, so that's a way you can know where people are coming from. But
yeah, we've had visitors from all 50 states. Really proud of that. And as you know, we just had our 1 millionth customer back in June. Terry Powell from Norfolk, who was walked in at the right moment. Walked into a confetti shot, and a lot of applause, and she received $1,000 in slot free play dinner for Ford Admirals. She received tickets to see Teresa Caputo. So yeah, and I see Terry in here. She was in again recently. Got to say hi and thank her for continuing. But we've had visitors from all 50 states. As we said in our licensing hearing, majority of the visitors do come from a 60-mile radius, right? That's true of almost every casino in the country. But we do have a good portion, greater than 10%, are coming from North Carolina. We have a nice base right outside of Richmond and the surrounding the Richmond area. So really, the market's been pretty robust for us. But there's not a weekend goes by that you don't see a bus. We had 3 or 4 buses in on Saturday of this week from all around the state. Benton, Stanton, or do I pronounce it Staunton? Staunton. A couple buses from that area. So all over Fairfax. We're really proud of that.
And in saying that, I think I saw a few months ago that Richmond was approved for a casino, and of course, you have Norfolk that's coming up, and certainly it was an advantage for us to open before Norfolk. But even at any point when Norfolk comes, do you think the two casinos can coexist and still be successful?
Oh, absolutely. I think this market certainly has the ability to um, host multiple casinos, right? And listen, competition is good. It's going to make us really reevaluate some things. We constantly look inside and try to make sure that our guest service is up to par, and we really take pride in our cleanliness around the property. Every manager's out there helping the front line to try to keep it clean. But yeah, I think competition is always good, and it forces you to do better. And I think at the end of the day, I think we'll always strive to make Portsmouth proud.
Yeah, and one other question, Leah, one other question.
Mhm.
Uh, as you, I don't know if this is the right term for it, but do y'all have any public service opportunities for maybe civic leagues or something like that, or different groups that serve the public to have an opportunity to come there and have some kind of events that would not cost them anything or not cost them much? You have anything set up like that for groups in the city out of the city of Portsmouth?
Absolutely. As part of our Rivers Gives programs, we're always looking to find areas where we could help. As you all know, I saw several of you in March when we partnered with the Wilson Ward and Gosport Civic League and the Cavalier Civic League to help clean up parts of Portsmouth, and then we hosted the luncheon afterwards
Yeah.
in our facility, and we've done numerous events like that. Some for retired military where we donate the use of the facility. Some cases just box lunches to go for meetings they're having elsewhere. But we're really proud of our commitment to helping inside the city and um, being a partner. So yes, Melissa Ramsey, our director of community engagement, um, is always available to sit down and see how we can be of service to someone, to a group.
Thanks.
Okay, Roy. Now let's talk about safety because there is a lot mentioned about safety when you go to look at some of the reviews as well. Let's see how has Rivers Casino addressed the safety issue.
So as you know, we have metal detectors at every entrance. Even the employees can't come into the facility without walking through a metal detector. I'm proud to say that um, you know they have been extremely successful in keeping guns, knives, other weapons off the casino floor. Um, you know, we all saw the early headlines, right?
Yes,
There's no running from it. We saw some of the YouTube videos of a few fights that had happened.
yes.
One of the fights didn't even happen here. It happened at one of our at another casino and
That's
just
why I
got
asked you,
tagged.
Roy. That's why
Yeah,
I asked you.
it just got tagged as ours. Wasn't even ours. I watched the video. I was sitting home. I watched the video. Like, that's not our casino. That's not my sports book. But it is what it is, right? That was the perception. So as you know, we partnered with the city really quick, and we had a 24-hour police presence out here, beginning in our 8th day of operation. We jumped right on that because people need to feel safe. The team needs to feel safe. People are coming out for entertainment. They don't want any part of that. So Portsmouth Police were extremely helpful being out here, and they've been great. As you know, we built the police substation. That's ready and finished and available to them, and being used. Um, but we jumped right on it. Casinos aren't in the business of getting rid of customers. Um, but what we did early on is we just started banning people, right? You can't bring that here. You can't come and ruin other people's expectations of a good time. So it's really unprecedented. But since January, we've banned about 700 people from coming in again. And they have a process. They could ask for reinstatement. They show remorse. They write a letter, and it goes to a committee of people to evaluate. But we jumped on it quick to make sure that everybody felt safe. So I'm really proud of how it's turned. We haven't had a physical altercation on premises in since April, right? It just doesn't happen. Security is constantly going through training on de-escalation, and what signs to spot. So, we're really careful about cocktail service to make sure that we don't overserve people. As you know, the casino law allows us to serve alcohol 24 hours. We don't, right? Because we want to be a good community partner. Well, I don't need people leaving another bar and say, hey, let's go. Rivers is still serving. Let's go to Rivers at 4 a.m. and continue drinking. That's not good for any of us. So we stopped that. So I think we've made great strides in this area.
Right. I'm so glad to hear that, because there were quite a few comments made about individuals leaving these after-hour spots once they shut down, and then coming to Rivers Casino after they've consumed a great deal of alcohol, and going to Rivers because Rivers was open. So I'm glad that you addressed that elephant in the room, so individuals will know that these folks are not leaving there and coming there for the sake of drinking continuously once they finish with the last spot that they were at. So that's a good statement. Thank you for that.
I got a question. I'll follow on the statement, Roy, you said about the 700 people that were banned. How do you identify that person that has been banned, goes home, changes his clothes, and comes back in? Or use any kind of facial recognition? Or is this by my own accord? I have to be honest with it, which they're not.
No, we don't use. We ID everybody that walks through that door. Everyone. We know 100% who is on property at all times. So you come in and you've been banned before, and it happens daily, because some people get banned before you could tell them they're banned, right? They cause an issue and they walk out the door before security could approach them. They skip out on a bill, any number of things, right? Where you didn't have an opportunity to speak to that guest. Well, we are able to track when they came in, look at their ID, and put a note in the system. Next time they come in, we just talk, sorry, last time you were here, this is what happened. You've been banned from the property. Here's your paperwork. Here's what transpires if you want to be able to come back in. But we ID everybody that comes in.
Good. Excellent. I had to get that off the chest because I know that was a question with Leah when you said the 700 and people want to identify how. The other thing is I'd like to follow up on is we talk about market share, since we're talking about the one in Norfolk. Now the market share is divided between your sister hotel that's or competitor in Hampton versus you. What is your market share divided up between the two? And then what's projected for when it's divided, pie is divided up in 3?
Well, this is all public information. So I'm not sharing anything that you couldn't go out and research. So the historical horse racing numbers are 2 months delayed. So on August 1st, they released June's historical horse racing numbers. And they did approximately 7 million in June, and we did 21 million in June. So, there you are. What's projected when Norfolk comes on? Tough to say, because you really don't know when Norfolk's coming on, right? So are we going to be in year 3 of a maturing market? Are we going to be in year 4? Right? It's really tough to say at that point. But I think it'll be really competitive.
Right. What's the largest jackpot that somebody's hit? And was it on one of the pull downs or at the tables or whatever?
Slot.
Or the
Yeah,
slot?
no, we've paid out. We've had at least 5 jackpots of over $140,000. We've had 3 at $180,000 in the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
and those are on 10-cent slot machines.
10-cent slot
So,
machines?
yeah.
I was going to ask, how much did they spend before they?
Can someone teach me how to use a slot machine, please?
10-cent denom, and they had a $3 bet.
What?
Yeah, max bet.
Yeah, and so 180,000.
Mr. Corby, I have a question. First, let me go back and clear up something. I know you said you work with the casinos in Oklahoma. I want you to know that I have a 5-state area that has Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, New Mexico. So there's casinos all there. So I wasn't pointing at Oklahoma at all. I was just saying on Indian land there were certain rules that we couldn't work with. So that being said, I'm up here in Dallas, and Jerry Jones has the WinStar Casino as a sponsorship. It's the Dallas Cowboys Casino. Do y'all plan on doing that with the Washington Redskins? I mean, the Washington football team?
Please don't. Please don't.
Typically I'm a big fan of sports partnerships. What we've seen in this area is everybody, since there's so much retired military here, there's so many people from other areas. I don't even know that Washington's the most favorite team in this area. I run into more Steeler fans, which just breaks my heart, than I do of any other team, it's just absolutely amazing. So I wouldn't even know who to partner with, just because there's no team here. We have a nice partnership with the Admirals, the Norfolk Admirals, and that's a great time going out there, and they're a good partner.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. That's a safe bet. Because you got 3 Cowboys up here on the screen right now. All 3 of us are Cowboys fans.
They would bring that up, Roy. I have to go to this during football season. I don't need it during off season, okay?
Well, you know what? It spiked my curiosity. And so I think you said you talked about the Pittsburgh. So you must be a Philly?
No, I'm a New England Patriot fan. I lived outside of Boston from the ages of 2 through 10, and it broke my dad's heart. But Boston, everything: Red Sox, Celtics, Bruins, Patriots, clam chowder. If this says Boston, I'm in. And it broke my dad's heart.
We just gave you Ezekiel.
Yes, very happy about that.
We are too.
But Roy, let me ask you this, because on all your advertisements on Facebook or wherever, at the end of the advertisement, you have this 1-800-GAMBLER number, and for people that might have problems gambling, I think it's very important to highlight that on every ad, to make sure that you all are being responsible there. So when people call that number, who are they calling, and what kind of services are they getting? Is it just a referral service, or are they actually getting help if they call that number?
Yeah, it's a group that's funded by the state. It's not necessarily a state agency, but they're funded by the state. And actually, the casinos. So my director of compliance sits on their board, if you will, to make sure that we are following all the regulations around problem gaming and doing that, making the disclaimers. They do receive some counseling right then on the phone, but then they'll get a referral on resources that are available in our area. So meetings, even in-person meetings, telephonic meetings. As an industry, it's in all of our interests to, none of us want problem gambling. None of us. I don't want someone in here playing their mortgage payments, their children's Christmas present money, right?
And that happens. That happens.
Absolutely, but none of us want that. It's not in any of our interests for that to happen. So we fund these initiatives through taxes we pay and volunteer efforts, things like that. So we take this very seriously.
And one gentleman just asked, what safety measures are put in place when individuals win the jackpot, as far as getting them to their vehicle?
Yeah, so we could we would have security escort any employee, whether any guest, whether they win a jackpot or not. So if a guest feels that they're in any type of danger, if they feel that there's someone else on property that's giving unwanted attention, unwanted looks, we'll escort to their car. We'll notify Portsmouth Police because, like I said, they're on premise. We'll notify Portsmouth Police, hey, this patron has a legitimate safety concern. We're going to escort to their car. Portsmouth Police may want to step in at that moment and just gather some more information. But yeah, everybody's safety is paramount.
Roy, let me ask this, and if you've answered or if you've mentioned this before, I apologize because I'm here looking at 4 screens trying to keep up with 4 different screens: the Facebook, the YouTube screen, and of course the StreamYard. But anyway, I think it was talk about a new restaurant that was coming. That's supposed to be built by this summer. Is that still in progress? You know, because I think they were talking about they were going to offer vegan food and everything, which my daughter is vegan. The whole family is. So what about that?
Yeah, so you're talking about the Yard House, which is a national brand, and we were proud to partner with them. They're still under construction, so they own and manage the restaurant. We own the building. So I check in on their construction often, although I have no direct say on how their construction goes. Right? They built to a standard, so every Yard House is basically the same. I expect that they'll come on right now. I expect they'll come on board in October. I think that they'll start to hire soon, and that'll show everybody that they're getting ready to open. But construction is going great. It looks beautiful inside. What they have finished. Really looking forward to that. It's just another unique offering here. You try to go to the one in Virginia Beach; it's always packed.
So that's good. Okay.
So
Well, anyway, go ahead. We're kind of like 7:25, so we're winding down. So at this point, and Roy, I want to thank you for coming on and answering these questions. And I think it's very informative and gave our viewers an opportunity to get an update with the casino and hear about some things that they wouldn't normally hear about. You know, so we appreciate you coming on, and I'll offer you for you to come back anytime. You don't have to be invited. If you have something you want to share, just let us know, and we'll make a way for you to come on and do that. But at this time, if any our hosts or guest hosts have any last comments, and Roy, we'll save the last comments for you before we sign off today.
Well, Roy, I'd like to start by saying thank you. Thank you for coming on Portsmouth Coffee Talk. Thank you for providing such excellent customer service. Whenever I'm in the casino, I always see you, and you are always personable and very, the customer service is just absolutely amazing whenever I see you. And so I want to thank you for that as well. I want to thank you for supporting the IC Norcom Alumni Association. You know, I can't let a show go by without mentioning the IC Norcom Alumni Association, but I want to thank you for that as well. But I just want to thank you for your presence. I want to thank you for all that you bring to the city of Portsmouth. I think you are a great asset to the city of Portsmouth, and just glad to have you here amongst us here in this great city. And one question I did have, and I wanted to know is, has the city shared with you anything that they plan to do with that whole corridor there on Victory Boulevard?
No, the mayor's reached out and asked if we'd be willing to sit on a panel to help direct what's going to happen in the entertainment district, and we gladly accepted the mayor's offer, and we're appreciative of him thinking of us, because we think we could help in that area, right? There's a lot to offer in this area, so we just want to be a part and be a good partner. So the mayor's reached out, but we haven't met yet.
Great. Thank you so very much. And thank you once again, Roy, for coming on Portsmouth Coffee Talk. Look forward to hearing from you again soon.
Yes. And I'll echo what Leah and Slim said. Thank you for first coming on, and also thank you for answering all my questions. Also in the detail that gave others a chance to better understand the going on and the working and the benefits and everything that you put out today. So thanks again.
Thank you.
And Roy, I'd like to say thank you too, and I appreciate listening to your answers. I appreciate what you're doing in the city, and I look forward to coming back home and spending some time in your casino, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk.
Absolutely.
And Johnny, you retired from that investigative thing you were doing, right?
Yes, I did. I retired.
Okay, so when you come to casino, it's just
Roy, good.
Yeah. It won't be in that capacity. Okay,
no,
good.
Sir, it will not. It'll be no.
Roy, I forgot to mention, well, I think we mentioned briefly a little bit about the national acts that you all start bringing in, starting off with Mike Epps, and then I think you have coming up the Spinners and the Commodores, and then you got Billy Ocean coming up in October. And I assume that kind of entertainment is going to continue. So appreciate you all doing that. You're still bringing more people into the city of Portsmouth with these acts, especially us baby boomers with some of the acts you've been bringing in lately, those groups that we grew up on. So I'm sure in the future there'll be a little bit of something for everybody. So and when they finish the show, they can go over to the other side and spend some more money in the city of Portsmouth. But anyway, we appreciate that.
And James, don't leave out our local folks. Joe Harmon and his group, they have been doing an amazing job there at the Rivers Casino as well as many other local entertainers. So we're always glad to have our local people entertaining at the casino as well.
Yeah, the sound bar has been great. Every band we've had at the sound bar has made such a difference. And it's absolutely amazing to walk in there and see the crowd starting to form at 8 o'clock for the 9 o'clock shows every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I absolutely love that.
Excellent.
Well, thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. It's always great to see you guys on property, and I appreciate the offer to come on. And look forward to doing this again, hopefully before the year's out, and then at our 1-year anniversary, we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yes, we will have a lot to talk about. And we look forward to it, Roy.
Yeah, whatever event you have for that, we'll be there.
Excellent. Well, thank you, everyone.
And thank you, everybody, for watching. We appreciate it. And thank you, co-hosts. And we'll see you Thursday when we have another exciting show.
Okay.
So
we'll announce that who our guest will be as the week goes on. But thanks again, everybody. And we appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Take care.
All right. Take care.